First joint.
My brother, bro. What's good though? You been straight?
I've been good, man. I've been.
You want to just say who you are first? Little
Uh,
introduction.
all right. So my name is K Guapo. Um, I'm a rapper and I'm an artist.
I fuck with that.
Yeah,
And just my brother. Just for a little intro, man. This is gonna be dope, bro. I appreciate you doing my first interview with you.
of
But
course.
shit, first I really want to get into, but this has been on my mind. It's just shit like uh ways that I've been trying to find out to express myself, right?
Mhm.
And I was saying, I know you someone who has found ways outlets to express yourself. You got fashion, you got music, you got multiple ways. But for you, just like let's say specifically those two, you can add whatever more. Like, how has those helped you express yourself?
Music is a way of letting go of things or like reliving things, and I don't know. I always found a connection to the way that music make me feel. So like Rod, we built a deep connection off Rod Wave. Bro.
Hmm.
Like Rod Wave is like one of my favorite. He's number one to me, and he has a way of making music through like it's kind of like a struggle music.
Yeah,
It has
you feel it.
yeah, like it's a deep connection to it,
Hmm.
right? So for me, I found that music is an outlet for people that don't necessarily have a voice.
So
So
when you
like
make music, do you now try to have people connect to you?
yeah,
Is
I
that
think
your
yeah,
goal?
that's my goal. Like when it comes to having empower, like putting out empowerment and aligning with positivity and that type of stuff, I want to produce that, and I want to allow people to know that like you can go from one point to another within the struggle, within poverty, and see things from a different perspective. Because I feel like they only promote negativity.
Hmm.
Negativity is everywhere. Everybody feeds into negativity. So
Hmm.
like just having somebody that you can know resonate with and align and have somebody to look up to. I think that's very important.
What about fashion?
Fashion, fashion is just confidence, bro. It's all about being able to be confident in something that might not be the norm.
Yeah.
So like me, I always try different stuff. Like when it come to how things fit or like
Hmm.
just the style of them. Like a lot of people in my family, they kind of like they clown me a little bit. They be like, man, you just be putting on everything. Like as a kid, I used to just like my grandma had like some slippers. She had like a hat. Like
Hmm.
if you remember, when I used to practice that beanie on a lot,
Hmm.
bro. That was like a fashion statement. Like you feel me? I'm at practice hooping with a beanie on, and like I don't know. It's just feel like clothes always gave me the outlet of to be different.
All right, so like fashion is one of those things like with like kind of how the way people talk in general, like influence also has an effect on that, like what you listen to, what you
Hmm.
watch. So like, how do you feel like fashion's like been influenced on you from outside, like from rap? We know how rappers dress.
Yeah.
We know how just famous people you might be into, like they have a way that they dress. How has that influenced you?
I would say it's a couple people that I look like I get inspiration from, but for the most part, I really try to make new things. Like I try to keep things as original as possible for myself because like I don't know, I'm going through a journey of like I'm discovering what I like. It's not necessarily of what I've seen. I'm actually creating stuff like clothes. I'm actually creating my own clothes now, so like it's kind of hard for me to really say it's a certain like one person that I look up to, but I definitely get inspiration from a lot of people and like
Hmm.
with rap and all that. But if I had to say one person, I'd say probably yeah. I can't even say one person, bro.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's a combination.
yeah.
I don't think
Like
it's just one person. Like
yeah,
it's hard to just be influenced by one person.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that person's been influenced by someone.
For sure.
So it's like it's
It's
kind of like a line. It kind of goes
definitely, and
through.
I feel like it's so many flavors into one that kind of make it different. Like
Hmm.
you just got to be able to.
All right. So how about if you now somebody? Let's say like we know how we were in high school.
Hmm.
Like to now we've changed so much. Like
Hmm.
we've grown. So like for someone who's kind of going through somewhere like in the middle of that stage, you know, they're finding out who they are because we kind of all still find out who we are.
Definitely.
How would you suggest like finding, you know, outlets to express themselves? Like what would be some you would request?
Um. So basically, I would say to find an outlet to express yourself, you have to first give yourself space to know what you like, because a lot of times everything we do is kind of oversaturated by what everybody else is doing. Like, it's a trend. Like coming from high school into like adulthood, you got to
Mm-hmm.
really, like you said, everybody's trying to find
You got to
themselves.
reinvent
Yeah, you got
yourself.
to reinvent
Yeah.
yourself. So it's like really taking that time to yourself to understand what you do like, and you have to try things. Like recently, I just tried not too long ago, but like I tried snowboarding, and like that's something
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not that good at, but like you got to try new hobbies to figure out what your expression is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and give yourself the alone time to understand that you need to figure out who you are to be able to express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So space is definitely important when it comes to expression. Like,
Space like getting alone
yeah,
so like you could think.
alone space. Yeah,
Yeah,
like just
yeah,
being
yeah.
able
Just so you
to,
could figure it out.
yeah, because silence. Like, I can go a little deeper into it. Silence allows you to figure out who and what is actually. How would I explain it?
I think like you're saying like being in solitude. So like
Yeah,
just being
silence.
alone, it kind of allows yourself to like fully fully evaluate your situation. So like you
Yeah,
can figure stuff out.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. So solitude is definitely important when it comes to
I agree with that for
figuring out
sure.
who you are.
I agree with that for sure. I think that was like the biggest thing for myself.
Yeah,
Like in terms of figuring out myself, just knowing what it is that I wanted to do
for sure.
and stuff like that. That's kind of how I want to go like next. Like I really want to ask you like right now. Me, I'm one of those dudes, man. Like when something like comes up and
Yeah,
it interests me, like I jump on it. I
yeah.
like to deep dive into it. I just want to know like right now, what's just something that interests you?
Something that interests me.
Anything, like anything that just interests you right now.
Basketball.
Basketball
Yeah,
in what way?
basketball. Bro, I've been figuring out my niches when it comes to like the game, of the speed of the game, the IQ of the game. Like it just I always find ways to go deeper within basketball. Like basketball always has been my outlet.
Yeah.
So like that's just been my go to.
Are you saying like it's interesting you trying to like figure out ways to elevate that because
Yeah, every day.
you know right now you could kind of consider yourself like a player,
Yeah,
like you're a
yeah.
hooper.
I'm a
Are you trying
hooper.
to find like more ways to express yourself through basketball too?
Yeah. Now
Yeah, I
basketball
feel
is
that.
definitely gonna be. I actually have an event that I'm putting together right now. It's gonna be called the Surrender Breakdown, and
What's
it's
that?
like it's gonna be a summer league where we hoop outside, and I'm gonna have food trucks out there, and like just everybody come out and vibe. But it's gonna be kind of like a park rec type thing,
Hmm.
and like basketball. I know basketball is just everybody out. Like it's a lot of people's outlet.
Yeah, it's like a
So
universal
yeah,
outlet.
it's a
Yeah,
universal outlet, and for us to like admire the game so much, I feel like it can bring us together in ways that
yeah.
certain people wouldn't be able to connect unless it was through basketball. You feel me?
Hmm.
So like for me, I just I, I just want to be able to allow the game to. I want to be able to give back to the game how much it gave to me and how much I'm able to grow within it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be hard though, bro. The game done did too much.
What you mean by that?
The game just I feel like it gave too much.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, for me it's like I could never repay basketball. Like it didn't met
Nah,
me,
definitely.
I didn't met all my friends through there. It's like it's like my happiest. It's like I could
Yeah.
like a lot of people say it's like your first love. You know,
Nah, definitely.
it's like one of the just greatest things ever, and it's something you could just do
Excuse me.
everywhere. It's somewhere I can go anywhere and do. I can do it alone. Like I don't think it's like any way to just like replicate that, but I know what you mean. I kind of like that idea. So how are you gonna choose like the people
So I actually
that are
want to
gonna
pick.
play?
Yeah.
That's
So
what I
I'm
mean.
gonna pick 7 captains, right?
Hmm.
And they're gonna have to assemble their team, and I'm gonna present them with a basketball, basically giving them the rules of the qualifications and stuff like that to enter their squad, and they have to find a 7 man I think I'll either do 7 or 8 man roster.
Mm-hmm.
and like we all show up and we play.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I want to ask you, who right now? Who do you get most? Who are you most inspired by right now?
God,
God.
God,
What do you mean by that?
God just inspires me every day to be more free flowing because I face a lot of. Recently I've been facing a lot of challenges and overcoming them. So like once I overcome a battle, it just gives me an extra boost. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it just gives me the ability to know that everything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So just understanding that once you put your mind once you put your mind to something and you align your faith with it, it's
Mm-hmm.
possible.
What are like your conversations with God?
Say that one more time.
What are your conversations with God?
What is my
What do they
conversations?
kind of look like?
So
Are
I
they
actually
asking like, what do you?
so I actually talk to God and just like like I said, free flow is my reality, bro. I just flow. I'm in and out. So like I could be walking down the street just in my head, like, God, I just appreciate you for, giving me this day, or like, I appreciate you for, getting me out of these situations, or like, cause like I said, I've been through a decent amount of things in the past year. So like being able to mentally and physically and spiritually get out of those things,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of builds my faith, like I said, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. When you were saying like fashion, you were saying like fashion is confidence, right?
Yeah,
So like I think a lot of people lack that, just like confidence in general
yeah,
within themselves, right? And you can see it with how I've noticed how I noticed a lot of people don't have confidence the way they talk to themselves,
hmm,
like or about themselves, because you don't really know. You're not in their head. You don't know what they're saying in their head, but
right,
how they like will say to themselves like, "Ah, man, I messed up. I'm stupid." You'll hear
yeah,
like little subtle things,
yeah.
like you'll hear stuff like that,
The speech is very powerful.
and you'll hear that. So I just want to know like when you with you like how do you like how is it that how do you kind of get yourself to talk to yourself to like get yourself aligned with what you want to do.
Um, so me, it's more like preparation. I prep myself in a way that I'm trying to win. So like every day I've been prioritizing, my affirmations. I prioritize, my health, like as far as what I'm eating. If you know that I'm plant based. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
probably don't know that, but I'm plant based. So I watch what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just honestly, you have to be your biggest supporter. Ain't nobody gonna want to see you win as much as you want to win. So like, if you
Mm-hmm.
have the understanding of where you want to go, you don't necessarily have to worry about the present moment. You just have to take action steps.
Yeah, so saying like if you just continue to do the right things right now and
It's
like
gonna
add it
eventually
up, just
lead.
stack it
Yeah,
up. I like that. I think that's even something I know I try to work on myself.
yeah,
I get and I've talked to you about this a lot. Like I get kind of caught up into the future.
yeah,
Like I'm like thinking about what I want to do and stuff like that and trying to get to that. But sometimes you really just gotta lay the right like foundation right
yeah. The
now, and
foundation, the
it's gonna take you where you
foundation,
want to go.
the foundation is is unbreakable once you take the time to understand that this is like my key values for myself.
Hmm.
Once you have a strong foundation, it's hard to be broken. And
Hmm.
like that's what I feel about myself. Like, bruh, my family is my foundation. My family, like they hold me so high. Like the way that they just amp my head, or the way that they just, always put me in the best position when necessarily I didn't feel that myself, but they allowed, they just always allowed me to be me.
Hmm.
So have a strong foundation is the first thing for sure.
Hmm. When you say you're your like biggest supporter, are you your worst critic too? Are you
Yeah.
hardest on yourself?
Yeah, I would say when I hear the word critic, I think of somebody that's coming to you in a negative tense. I would say supporter. I'm my biggest supporter when
Hmm.
it comes to like fucking up.
Now I'll
Like,
say, let's say like I'll put it to you like this, like critic. I see what you mean by
yeah.
that, but like, would you say you're the hardest out of anybody on yourself?
Oh, of course.
You know?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. I want to win. Everything that I do, I try my best to be the best because, like I said, you only get as far as you push yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at it as, somebody's coming to save you, or you can look at it as, I got these opportunities and I got to support myself and be responsible and disciplined to get to where I want to be.
You think it could be? You think it's a way to be too hard on yourself?
Of
Is
course.
that a thing?
Yeah, I
How do
think
you think? How do you think someone's too hard on themselves?
not being able to mess up or not
Ooh,
being able
yeah,
to, take a loss, because everybody, this, like I said,
yeah.
my approach to life is a free flowing life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna, you feel me, do something that might not necessarily be the best, but I live and I learn. And at the end of the day, you just you live to learn. So it ain't nothing too serious. Just keep a smile and just understand that the positive outlook on everything gives you the ability to get out of it.
I would definitely agree with that. I think too many people. The first point you said that made a lot of sense. You said they don't allow themselves to mess up.
Yeah,
That's like big. I don't think a lot of people allow themselves to mess up. They like have an expectation of perfection,
no, for sure.
and that's like this. It's a measurement that's not even there.
So,
Like perfection ain't even a measurement. It's just if you hold yourself to that, you're just gonna always fail.
but and I remember this crazy because my kindergarten teacher told me, she was like, "You're a perfectionist in an imperfect world." Bro, when I was
That's
younger,
cool.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
That's cool.
And like when I was younger, bro, we used to do, like, how they used to have you trace like the alphabets,
Yeah.
and like a lot of people, bro, they used to just be so sloppy with they like the writing, right?
Hmm.
And like I used to take my time to the point that I did everything so slow in my life that I like it's because I wanted to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to get to your goal. Just get it down. You feel me? Understand that everything doesn't have to be so hard. It can be as easy as you think of it is.
Hmm. Yeah. No, for a kindergarten, that's going right over my head.
Yeah.
If I'm making, if I was in kindergarten, that's going right over my head. What about goals for yourself?
Goals.
Do you what are how do, what's your? I think a lot of people set different kind of goals. So
Yeah.
what's your way to set
Bro,
goals?
I have like two ways that I like to set goals. I like to set visual goals, and I like to set like mental goals. Like
All right,
mentally,
break down visual goals.
a visual goal. So basically, I see something and I obtain it. So
Hmm.
like me, I'm a manifester. So
Hmm.
I like to visualize it. Like, okay, when I was like a year ago, I was in my mom's house in my room rapping. I'm like, I'm gonna shine like a chandelier. I don't wanna, and just rapping about like the life that I wanted to live.
Hmm.
And bro, eventually I worked to a point where I got to where I wanted to be. And it's all it starts with is a vision or a thought, and keep that thought and start building an understanding of the life that you want and see it.
Yeah,
Be able to see everything. So like that's a visual goal for
and
me.
living it too.
Yeah,
Kind of
living.
like
Yeah,
right now,
everything's a
living in
step.
the life that you want to be.
Everything's a step. So like see it, take the step, it will be you achieve it. And if you keep visualizing it, the more you see it, the more you know think about it. Your thought process, your brain can't tell if you're dreaming or in a reality state of
Hmm.
seeing something. So if you continuously picture something in your mind, you will attract it.
And what was the other one? You said visual
A mental goal.
and would like break the mental
So
goal
like
down.
mentally, I try to keep myself in a stable place. I try to keep my mind as light as a feather. So
Hmm.
like I don't allow too many things to cloud up my mind or like pile up on me, because once you're not in a flow state, you're allowing yourself to operate in fear, doubt, and worry.
Hmm.
So for me, I prioritize meditating. I prioritize breathing. I prioritize the things that I eat. Like all those things go into your mental health.
Hmm.
So like understanding that, you know, what's harming you and being able to mentally change it,
Hmm.
because that's mental strength. Like we've been taught something and we're not necessarily able to, you feel me? Sometimes we're not able to change it, because as I would say if it's the youth watching this, you're not necessarily in control of what you eat every day. You're not
Yeah.
necessarily in control of like
Hmm.
the environment.
They're not really controlling much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like
You're told where you got to be 8 hours of the day. Most
yeah,
of them are in school. I mean, you should be in school.
for real.
And then it's like a lot of them are put in sports on their own.
Yeah.
Like, so I see what you mean on
And a
that.
mental and everybody faces mental challenges.
Hmm.
So like for me, it's just a priority to make sure that I'm able to perform at a high level mentally. Yeah, just mentally.
So say like when you accomplish a goal now, like how is the ways that you celebrate yourself? I think so many people have like different things. You got the person who just keeps going. You know, they go
Yeah.
one goal to another, one goal to
Unfortunately,
another,
bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna
or
lie,
you
bro.
like go ahead.
Unfortunately, I am a person that like I will achieve something and I don't celebrate for long. I don't celebrate
You're
for
on to the next.
years on to the next, bro. Cause like it's just a feeling of getting something, achieving it, but I never attach.
Hmm.
I feel like one thing in this world you can't attach to a feeling or a material or um just an emote like like you can't attach it
Hmm.
in general to anything. So like
Hmm.
I attach to a goal and I achieve it and then I let it go. And then I put another goal out, achieve it, and then let it go. I don't want to be too hung up or like, you feel me, head over heels over one goal that I achieved because if I want more, I want more, and
Hmm.
I always want more, bro. So like,
So are you the same way? Like if you don't accomplish that goal, it's like I didn't accomplish the next goal.
mm-mm.
Like is it the same?
Nah.
It's like I'm gonna
I
stay with it until I
so
get that goal.
I actually used to do that because some things is like you gotta sacrifice certain things at a certain time. Like I have a goal of being able to buy a new car, and, being able to you know get nice things, right?
Hmm.
And I have a priority of what I got to handle and what I want. So like sometimes the goals that I do have, so I have to let them go and then focus on the immediate goal.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I get that. I was gonna say, like when I made like a vision board this year. I think you kind of got me into doing that, like just kind of getting my because I'm not really a goal. Like I talked to you about how I am with goals.
Hmm.
Like goals are hard for me to kind of set for myself because like I got long term goals, but then I got like short term goals are hard for me to set because like I don't want to have like a standard or something that I gotta meet. If I don't meet it, like it's like a failure, you know.
Hmm.
But I think it's a better way to look at it than that, and that's kind of a way I had to give myself to look at for
So
goals.
so what you mean as far as like setting up like because I know how you are when it comes to your goals. Like you prioritize a goal and you would like to accomplish it and you try your best to accomplish it. But as far as that question, like, do you mean like having a goal and like punishing yourself because you done?
No, I just think say like, I mean I think in general a lot of people look at it as like failure or you success. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I think for me like I set a goal because like I set my goal specifically. Like I choose very like specific goals that like I want to become someone achieving a goal. My
yeah,
goal is not like my goal is not even really fully to accomplish the goal. It's more so that I want to become a person on the way of accomplishing goals. So if I
yeah.
say like I want to make, let's say my goal was to make money, like
Hmm.
$10,000 or something, right? 20,000, 30,000.
Right.
The goal necessarily for me is not to make that exact number of money. It's become somebody who creates the habits that they can have, they can acquire $30,000. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
And that's really how I set my goals. So for me, like there's no way to fail in my goals because even if I didn't hit 30,000, let's just say I make 20,000. For a lot of people, they look at it as like I failed the goal, but like I think I accomplished it because
Hmm.
I became a person who like
You was striving.
I was striving for
Yeah,
that,
you was
and I,
striving
I,
for it.
I like gave myself the kind of like ritual, or I started preparing myself to
Yeah,
become somebody who can make $30,000.
yeah. You
That's kind of how
can't.
I set my goals.
Yeah, you can't not give yourself credit.
Yeah.
Regardless of any progress, it's progress.
Mhm.
And one thing we gotta not confuse is motion with progress, though,
Mhm.
because progress is you feel me. We actually taking steps. You took steps in that progress of
Mhm.
becoming a $30,000 individual, right?
Mhm.
So even if you started with, you feel me, no money, and you got to that price point, and you probably wanted to get to 60,000. Like, you know, those things are accomplishments. Those are, you feel me, it's things you have to be appreciative of, because the goal you have is okay, but the process is all right too.
Definitely, because that's all a process, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go with this year. Like, we're halfway now. It's June,
Yeah,
so it's
that's
exactly
crazy,
6 months.
man. It go past so fast.
Fast year, but like, you set goals for yourself. Like, do you feel like you're happy with the goals you set for yourself? Like, where do you feel like this last 6 months has been for you?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the year that it's
As
been?
of right now, bro, I'm kind of confused within my year, because, like I said, I have a lot of aspirations to be great. So like, I kind of need to focus on one thing at a time, and I feel like I've been trying to. I'm a person, like I said, I juggle a lot of things. I do a lot of things for myself. I do a lot of things for others. So focusing on myself and focusing on my passions, I wasn't necessarily doing that in the first 6 months. And I've been, like, acquiring new skills along the way. But as far as like paying the full attention to everything that I need to, I wasn't. So like, I'm actually very happy that I'm in this position right now to realize that and make a change, because I'm actually here to really like take it to the top, like go to the next level as far as like my career.
Okay, so you think, so for you it's like more now, really, like you're pushing to make this next 6 months, like,
Yeah, the next 6 months.
yeah.
It's like I really want. Let me look in the camera and say this. I really want to win. Like, I just want to win so bad, and I know that all it takes is hard work and dedication.
What's winning for you though?
Winning.
What's winning for you?
Honestly, I don't have a set mark, but just being in, touching in all the fields that I want to. So that means my clothing brand, Surrender, my music, Que Guapo, interacting with my family more, being active in community, and I would say just traveling and learning new experiences.
Yeah,
So,
and you're saying that you have like you're saying that for you haven't been able to fully do that at the start of the 6 months, or you're saying, like, what do you feel like?
nah, so look, I haven't been on no trips this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my birthday came super fast. It felt like I usually get more preparation for my birthday. I actually had a really nice party, but I feel like just everything came so fast to the point where I didn't feel prepared, or like and the whole time I feel like I wasn't prepared enough.
Yeah,
And right now I feel like it's perfect time.
yeah.
It's
I think I
perfect.
agree with you on that. I
It's
feel
perfect
that's
time.
exactly how I feel like this
No cap.
year's been for me. Like I know there's things that I wanted to do. I feel like that I didn't fully get to do, but and like there's places that, like with certain things, I think I thought I was gonna be at a different point. Like for me, like I say, like with my job, I definitely didn't expect it to look like how I thought it was gonna be. And then, but I think for me, like now I'm at a really good point of where I know like exactly what I want to do for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And like I'm like that I'm about to
We're
like
here. It's
I'm gonna make
time.
this next 6 months work
It's
out
time.
perfectly for me. But I
It's time.
got I got these final questions, bro.
Let me know.
These is interesting. I really love these questions.
All right, let's bring it on.
One, I feel like I want to know: do you feel like you know your purpose?
My purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right now, I wouldn't say I fully know, but I definitely have an idea. I'm supposed to be able to spread light and love and positivity to the youth, to the universe, and just always be me. Because being me, I will be able to show up for my family in the best ways, break generational curses, and just be a positive community member.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel like you came to that?
How did I
Like,
come to that?
how do you feel like you found your
I
purpose?
never had guidance growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So like, figuring it all out on your own, or having a single mom where she the only person that is teaching you everything, and a mother can only teach a man so much. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I learned a lot of things on my own and within community. So
Mm-hmm.
like, where I just had certain people in community that I looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I just feel like the positive route always wins.
Mm-hmm.
If you can leave out the situation knowing that you did the best you could, and you don't have negative emotions towards the situation, you won.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's just being able to be at peace with yourself and understand that you gotta have love and positivity. Everybody looks for love and positivity somewhere. And
Mm-hmm.
we just got to be able to express it more outwards because
Yeah.
it's that's the new way. That's the new sauce. Like if you're not showing love, bro, then you hate. We don't do
Yeah.
no hating.
No.
Feel me?
I feel like I think a quote somebody told me like a minute ago was like, "Be the person you wish you had when you grew up" or
No
something. And
cap.
I try to live by that so much. That's why I do so much
So you
like.
like, I ain't gonna lie, you're like everybody's role model in my eyes. Right? Like the people that we were around, bro, you just always been a solid guy. You always stay firm, like
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what it is. Like you just always there for people. You always show up all like genuinely,
Mm-hmm.
and you carry yourself highly, bro. So like
Yeah.
I appreciate you even having me on here,
Mm-hmm.
and just letting us start it off like this because this is powerful, bro.
No, this is and
This is
this is powerful for me. Like it's like I feel like I'm like I've always wanted to do this and
yeah.
to get to
But
do
we've
it.
been
You
saying
know
this
what I
for
mean?
like 2 years.
Yeah.
We've been saying, bro, let's start this up. Let's do this. Let's talk about. If y'all don't know, this is my best friend. Like, this is my brother. This is like, you feel me, twin. He's locked in for life. Like, and we've been talking about, recording videos and just like we have these type of conversations on a
All the
daily.
time.
You
Yeah.
feel me? Like this ain't nothing. But like
Yeah.
being able to express it outwards and be able to be positive members to other people.
Yeah.
That's amazing for us, bro. We
I
doing something
appreciate that,
great.
brother. I appreciate that, brother. Next one is this is like my favorite question ever. I don't
Mhm.
know why. I love this question. If everyone you ever met was in a room, who would you go up to first? So every single person you've ever met, dead or alive, every single person, and you get to only choose one person to go up to,
One person to
and you
go up to,
have a conversation with. Who you choosing?
dead or alive,
Mm-hmm.
or my grandma,
Why
without
is
a
it?
doubt.
And
Right?
what's the conversation?
What's the conversation? Like in present tense or
Yeah,
just like
present tense.
present tense? I would just ask her like, how she doing? Cause like me, I look at life so uniquely. I feel like sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
um, like death is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really going through a process of like understanding where the energy goes, because energy is just transfer. It's never destroyed, and
Mm-hmm.
we're electromagnetic beings. So like being able to understand that like you're a soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so me, I would just ask her like, hoping that ask her that she was if she was good or like, how her time been in an energy standpoint or an energy like perspective, because that'll just it's amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what God and the universe is.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I was to hold on, let's chop that, because if I was to ask her or if I was to have a conversation with her, I would say um, that I love her and that I appreciate all the memories and that she really built me to become the man of like you feel me, the young chief. Like I really take a lot of accountability for my family, like everybody, my mom, my uncles, my aunties, my little cousins. Like I'm their leader. So like she always gave me the power to understand that they gonna lean on you. And right now I would just tell her that I appreciate her for guiding me, um, always being able to show me signs of her being around me, and just being able to hold her one time or just give her a hug on a physical tense if I could
Mm-hmm.
within the conversation, like just speak so powerfully to each other, because we got a connection that like this world would never understand.
Mm-hmm.
So like that would definitely be my energy if I was to have the conversation or be able to be in the presence of her again.
I like that, bro.
And I'm actually, you feel me? She actually on my hat right now. You feel me? I got her on the hat. So you
I
feel me? That's
appreciate
how
that. I appreciate you telling me that, bro.
Nah, for sure.
Dinner with anybody, dead
Dinner,
or alive. What would it be?
dinner with anybody dead or alive. Probably my great grandma.
Why is that?
Um, so I got to meet
So this is
her.
different from
Yeah. So
this is
my
different from the
so
person you
my
just said.
grandma's mom.
Okay.
So like I got to meet her as a kid,
Hmm.
but I never got to meet her at like in a sense that I remember. And just
Yeah.
like one sit down with her, I feel like that'd be amazing. Like
Yeah.
just to see me now, and she see me as a kid, now she see me now,
Yeah.
and like she's like a strong lineage from my mom. So like
Hmm.
just to be able to have a conversation with her and like you know get a perspective of what her mom what her and my mom relationship was, I think
Hmm.
that'd be amazing.
I think, bro, I'd be thinking about this so much. Like meeting, I would love to meet so much people that I knew when I was younger.
Yeah,
Like now, I think I think as a kid, I had just such a different perspective on them because I was just, so I didn't
yeah,
know really anything. But like now, I would love to meet those people and have those. I want to know if I'd look at them the same. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like it was just people who were like so nice to me, and like even just like people who don't have like the biggest influence, like they're not family or nothing.
yeah.
But like at that time, like I didn't have that kind of like kindness around me. So
Right.
like I put them on like the highest pedestal. I thought they were like the greatest people
Hmm.
because they were just nice
That's the way they
people.
make you feel. They
Yeah.
always made you feel welcome or
So
loved
yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
all that, and I want to know like, and I look back on my childhood like they made my childhood because of those things. But like now, I feel like I have those more in my life. So
Hmm.
like that's the normal now. You know what I mean? So like if they were to come into my life now, I probably wouldn't look at them that way because I
Yeah.
have that more. But at that time, I didn't have that. So I always think about that too, like just childhood stuff,
That's dope.
like how I would look at people when I was a child. Uh, what's something that people don't know about you, or people get mix do both? What's something that people don't know about you, and what's something that people get like wrong about you?
Um, so something people don't know about me, I'm a chef. Like I really know how to cook for real.
Mm,
Um, I really got a deep a session with like self. Actually not. Let me see. Wait, say the question again.
what's something that people don't know about you, and then what's something that you think people get wrong about you?
Some people don't know. Okay, some people don't know I'm a chef. I'm a
Mm,
real good cooker. And things that people get wrong about me, that I'm arrogant maybe because of how cocky I am, or like I come off probably strong in a personality way.
mm-hmm,
So like you might think I'm just a you feel me ignorant young nigga that just pop shit, but like realistically I'm so humble and I'm level headed to the point I can relate to anyone.
mm-hmm.
So like that's just
I think most of the time that comes off that way. That's more like an insecurity in the other person.
yeah,
That's kind of how I look at it.
not
Like
for sure.
people who are like when people have problems or people are confident with themselves,
Yeah,
it's usually insecurity with themselves because they're like they really asking like how can that person be so confident
yeah,
like because they can't see them within themselves.
not for
I think
sure.
that's really how it is.
It tend to be that way sometimes I feel like, but it's
Yeah.
just like I try not to take it personally though, because everybody has they have the perspective of what they're feeling, their emotion.
Yeah.
And if you like I said, if you operate within negativity, fear, doubt, worry,
Mhm.
you'll come off in those ways. But if you
Mhm.
come off in positivity, then you only, admire and be motivated by somebody that you might think is arrogant.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think when you and the more you are in that, like when you are really confident in yourself, you just kind of know yourself.
Hmm.
Like you get to be calm and level headed to the point where that stuff doesn't even bother you. Like
Facts.
when people now, try to spread that negativity towards you, you kind of are like you don't even got to react. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because I know like when I was younger, I was like
Yeah.
I was a hothead. Like somebody says something to me, I want to react.
Yeah.
And like now, like man, I'm so like calm. Like anybody can say
It's
like the
that
most
peace.
disrespectful thing to me,
Yeah.
and I might even laugh, bro.
It's the
I just be
peace,
like,
bro.
damn, you not where you want to be, bro. You good? I just count on how I take it as
Nah,
like,
everybody in their own processes, and you just gotta excuse them.
yeah,
You just gotta excuse them sometimes, cause like they don't mean it on purpose.
yeah,
Nothing's on purpose, bro. Everything is because of what somebody else have taught you or your experience and your reality.
Yeah.
So that
Nah, I
shit,
think that's real.
nah, real shit, bro. It's only real conversation, bro. Anytime you come sit down with twin, bro, you just gotta keep this shit real.
Yeah.
Like we gonna set a tone for a real connection because this is what it is. This ain't never been fake. This shit ain't never been from a non-genuine place with me. Like I always been genuine, especially with you, bro. Cause like it's real. It's a real love and connection there, bro. Like me and
Mhm.
you, bro. We forever locked in,
Mhm.
like locked in. So this shit just what it is.
Mhm. I appreciate you for doing this. Though I know for me, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to start. I have a couple of people I have gonna record with.
Hmm.
I didn't even want to start with them. Like I could have even recorded it and waited, but
Yeah,
like I didn't want to start this until I did it with you
yeah.
first,
This the
bro.
identity of the show. You know, this
Yeah.
is this is how we gonna move for however long you feel like this is your priority or your purpose.
Mhm.
We gonna make sure that whatever you need from me or like to put in the work to like make this shit work behind the scenes. I'm here for you.
Mhm. Now
Straight
I'm
up.
gonna have you. I'm gonna have you back for sure, just because for them it's gonna probably be newer, but like for us, bro, this is just like a
Yeah, this
convo. This is just
conversation, bro.
like
This
normal, and I
this
just kind of want to push this, and I try to even tell more people like to have these. I feel like that's something we should show. You know what I mean? You got to show like these conversations is important,
nah for
and it
sure.
help you build yourself. But I think it's a more important thing, bro.
One thing I gotta say though before we leave, before we exit, is prioritize expressing yourselves in the best way. Um, too much alone time can be not good for you.
Hmm.
Depend on your people. If people do want to show up for you, allow them to show up and take a hand. Like I feel like right now it's kind of hard for us in this process of trying to figure out who we are and our identity to the point that we kind of separate ourselves we separate ourselves from things that serve us.
Hmm.
And you just got to evaluate your situation of how you can coexist with the world but also prioritize self-being.
Hmm.
So lean on your people.
Hmm. You kind of just skipped ahead. I was gonna ask you what's your final message, but shit, you
Damn,
beat me
yeah.
to it.
Cause,
You
bro,
beat me
that was just
to
heavy on my chest. I had to say that, bro, because me as a person, I'm so driven by myself, and I have to slow myself down sometimes and realize that I got people out there that care about me.
Hmm.
And I just had a conversation with my cousin. He was just telling me like, bro, like he was just telling me like, bro, you got to start showing up in better ways.
Hmm.
And for me, it mean a lot to me because like they show up for me. So if I'm not showing up for them, it don't make me feel as good to be not reciprocating the love that I do have for them.
Hmm.
So like it's important to know that developing self also means your connections with others.
Hmm. I appreciate you, bro. We're
For
gonna have
sure,
this
bro.
again, bro.
My dog.
All right, bro.